Welcome to Vintage Gaming Memories. Shall we play a game?
They really do make great Christmas gifts.
Available at Walgreens, Woolworth, Woolco, Osco, Goldblatt's, and Venture.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If this is a return visit for you, I thank you for that. And if this is your first time here, thanks for checking it out, and I hope you come back often. Now, let's get right into this one. These two boxes contain the same item, but they're from two different sellers. And no, I am not collecting duplicates, but you'll see that one has more to offer than the other. And I guess you can kind of tell by the size of the packages as well. So let's go and open up this one first, and then I'll explain further. Well, here it is. Well, what is it, right? It's a shipping box. And actually, it is the original shipping box that the owner who originally purchased this back in probably, I'm going to guess, well, I'm not having to guess. It says it right here, April 20th, 1979. Now, looking at this package, you really can't tell what's inside the box. But what you can tell is that this was a COD delivery. That's a cash-on-delivery service where you would either mail your order to the company or call in the order. But either way, you wouldn't have to make any payment until the item is delivered. Thus the name, CashOnDelivery. Now the only thing is that you have to be home upon delivery to make the payment for this package, and it would need to be in cash. The person collecting is the postal carrier that delivers it. So what you'd be paying for is the cost of the item, plus the shipping charge, and a COD fee. The postal carrier is essentially the go-between because afterwards the postal carrier will send the merchant what was collected minus any fees. Sounds pretty crazy, right? In today's world, who has time to wait for a package to be delivered? We pretty much just open our door and look for it in the front if it's still there. But believe it or not, COD still exists today. Instead of cash on delivery, it's referred to collect on delivery. I had to do a little research on where you might find such a service. Well, it's very rare in the US, but it's very common in India and in the Middle East. Now back to this package. There's really not much of a clue as to what it is other than it came from Ronco Teleproducts Inc. And you can see it was in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, which I did not live far from there. I grew up probably within 15 minutes of that actual address. Today is just a massive industrial park with a whole bunch of warehouses there. Now, for those not familiar with the company Ronco, well, first, the name is a contraction. It's between the founder's name, Ron Popeil, and the word company. So, Ronco, right? Pretty simple. Well, he died back in 2021 at the age of 86. But during his time of inventing and marketing his products, his voice, face, and product names were practically impossible to miss. Everyone knew them. For example, there's the Chop-O-Matic. It's a non-electric food chopper.
The blades rotate automatically. That's what makes Chop-O-Matic so amazing.
Then there's the inside the shell egg scrambler, which is pretty straightforward. It blends both the egg white and the yolk inside the shell without having to crack it open.
But now there's the egg scrambler. It scrambles an egg while it's still in the shell. The egg scrambler perfectly blends the egg white and yolk in only 5 seconds.
And then who can forget GLH9? So GLH stood for, ready for this one? Great looking hair, and the 9 was the formula number 9. This was marketed as hair in a can. Now, after talking about all those great products, you might find this one just a little bit boring. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the two boxes that were shown, inside them had the same item. And looking at the size, you're probably wondering what could be in the other one. Well, obviously, there's a lot more. So we have the outside, which is the shipping box, which is cool. I don't know if there's anything more to look at this before I show you what's inside. Let me just kind of examine it a little bit more. We know the price for the COD was $16.72. And I think I can make out the address here, which I won't show it because I'm sure someone else lives there. We know the month and year that this was delivered by UPS. I don't want to show you what's on the bottom because it's actually stamped as far as what's inside here. So that would give it away. But let's just open this up and let me show you what's in here. So let's check out what's inside the box. Here it is. It's an orange microphone. Oop, the label actually came off. That's all right. There's a stand. And then the microphone. This is not just any microphone. This is the Ronco Mr. microphone, which is also on the bottom of the box, which is why I didn't want to show you that. But this is a 1978 item that came out from Ronco, and it is a wireless microphone. Now, you might recall the commercial with the Willie Ames lookalike guy giving his pickup line to a girl while he's in the backseat of a convertible.
Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
It has an FM radio transmitter inside here that broadcasts whatever's heard from the microphone to a nearby radio that is tuned into a particular FM station. And that's all it's really needed. Pretty simple. Well, actually, 2 AA batteries, I believe, as well. Now, this wasn't really a first of its kind technology, but the way it was marketed as a cool gadget to hear yourself on the radio,
I'm on the radio.
or just to use for karaoke,
It's practical and great fun for the whole family.
plus the affordable price,
And it's only $14.88.
well, it made the people want it, and it sure felt like it was cutting edge at that time. Now, I know some of you will probably be asking, why am I doing a Mr. Microphone video if the name of the channel is Vintage Gaming Memories and then sometimes more? This one here was a suggestion from a friend, and I thought, you know what, this does bring back some memories back in the day, and they were during the times when I was doing some gaming, because these were in the early 80s, but it's really not a gaming item. Nonetheless, it's still pretty cool to see. I don't think we see many videos out there on the Mr. Microphone, so why not give it a little show? And it seems to be kind of hard to find working versions of these, and if you do find them, they're pretty expensive, so figured why not add this to the collection. It's kind of cool talking piece. So that's why this video is being made. So you could just thank my friend Chad for that. Now, this is all I got in this box. The other box is a lot larger, but it's not like you get a whole bunch more. I'm sure the other box will have some instructions and some other good things. Maybe the condition will be a little bit better. This is the label that came off. Not a big deal. I can get that glued back on. But that's not why I bought this one. I wanted it for the box, and it was not expensive at all. It might have been, I think it might have been $15 or something. It was less than what the COD amount was. And who knows, maybe it's good for parts. Now, if I recall correctly, the listing said that this was not tested, and I think we all know what that means.
That don't work.
But let's give this a try. I want to see if this actually works. Here's the battery compartment. And this is really cheap plastic, which is probably why the price was favorable for many. There's the microphone inside. Well, let's see if I can pry this thing open without breaking it, just to get to the batteries. All right, I think I got it going. Pretty hard to open this. I was worried it might be batteries all corroded in there, but nope. So yeah, 2 AA batteries. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to get a radio and some batteries, and we'll try this out. You know what? I am going to clean this thing up. And I know I said I wasn't really into this one as much as I think the other one's going to look a lot better, but it's really not much to clean, and I think it's going to help with the battery cover so I don't bust it as I try to slide it back on. It'll only take me a second, and only a second for you to wait, so I'll be right back. Okay, that was pretty quick. There's not really much to clean and polish on this, which was nice, and it looks pretty good. I also put the sticker back on. Let's go put some batteries in here. And it's just 2 AA batteries. Closes very nice. Now all we need is, well, we'll get some room here. All we need now is a radio. And I have one, perfect one to use for this. We're going to use this radio. This is a boom box, a little one, an audio box. Got this from a Radio Shack, an actual Radio Shack store. Picked this up last year, one of the very few that exist still today. But this will do the job. It's small, and I wanted something that can fit on my workbench here, so I don't have to back the camera way up to show you it. I'm going to plug this one in. And I think, if I'm not mistaken from what I read earlier, is you have to get the antenna out. Okay. And then we put it on FM, which, let me show you here. It is on FM. Put it on radio. Make sure that volume's down. And then we just put this antenna from the microphone onto the antenna of the radio. And then we just see if we can hear ourselves through the speaker as I tune in to all these different stations. So I'm going to try my best to see if I can hear myself. There's no lights on here to show that power is going through. So really there's no indicator at all. But we'll see how this works. Okay. So it'll be on. Actually says to take that orange ball off as well. Okay. Now there's an adjustment knob here, which I really don't want to touch. I'll leave it as whatever the setting was that probably worked at one time. Okay. I'll lift the volume up a little bit. I'm going to just tap it so you don't hear me say hello, hello, hello forever. And I'm going to just try to go through the dials here and see if I can hear it. All right, no luck whatsoever, but that's quite all right because, like I said before, this wasn't the reason why I bought it. It wasn't for this particular microphone. It was for the box. Now, the other one, I can't recall if it said it was tested or not. And that one, if it doesn't work, we're going to have to open it up and try to figure it out. So let's get some room here and get the other box on the table and check it out. Okay, here's the other box, and it's definitely not small. I mean, it's, what is this? 17 inches wide. So not small compared to the other one. Definitely pretty large. Let's see what we have inside this one. All right, here is another Ronco Mr. microphone, but this one came out in 1979. This one's in a different packaging. Obviously, this would never, well, this would have fit, but not the way they market this one. There's no way that would have fit in this box. So this is probably something you might get at the store. I don't know. Totally different packaging for sure. Let's check out this box. This one looks pretty cool. Look at the people on the box. Look at that radio in there. Love checking out the outfits back then. As seen on TV. Cordless wireless microphone, no attaching wires. Put your voice on FM radio, fun and useful for all ages. Mr. Microphone. And then, oh good, we have some instructions in the back. There's a stand. I guess I'm not missing anything else. Just the instructions and hopefully a working version of this. Okay, let's get this one out and see if it works. So here is some instructions. Let me just get this out so I don't rip it or anything. Okay, that's great. This one does not have a stand. Oh, double check. We do have a different looking Mr. Microphone. It is totally different. This has adjustment knob for the frequency, whereas the other one you had to put a screwdriver in there. And it's actually silver. I wouldn't say it's chrome because I think it's like a sticker or whatever. But here is the other one. See the difference already? Well, here's the power on off switch on both. And then if I turn it a little bit over to the other side, the adjustment for the frequency to tune it in. You have to put a screwdriver inside there. This one has a nice easy knob to adjust. So that looks good. Looks like they made some changes and improvements from the original one on the right. Even the ball is a little bit different. There's a hole so you have direct access to the mic. Now this one does not have the stand. I thought it came with everything. Well, that's okay because we have the stand on the other one. So we can make a complete set, that's for sure. Let's check out these instructions. Registration card. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and try this one out. I'm going to just not clean it yet. I'll just put the batteries in and try to tune it into a radio station. Okay, the batteries are in. There's some room here. I'm going to put the same radio out. There we go. And we're going to get the antenna over here so we can see it better. Plug it in. And let's just check out those instructions one more time, just in case I was doing this wrong. Okay, batteries are in. Remove the foam ball. All right, we'll take that off. And then we're going to tune the dial on the radio from the left, all the way to the left, which I think I ended it on the left, yep. And then put the volume up very high. I won't do that to you, but I'll put it up a little bit. And then it says to hold the microphone close to the radio and have both the antennas crossed. So that's what I did last time. Tune to the right of the FM dial very slowly until you hear a voice or sound. That's interesting. What voice? Is that me talking to hear my voice or just a voice? We'll see what happens. Okay. All right, let me just adjust this a little bit more so we have the full view of the radio. Okay. Let's see. Volume's on the low level and radio's on. We're on FM. Get this mic turned on. And we'll make sure this is wrapped around the antenna. And we'll go close to the radio. Let's turn it on and let's see what we get. Whoa. All right. I think that's the noise that I'm expecting to hear. That's the feedback. And you can hear it kind of coming through with me speaking now. All right, let me get this ball on top. All right. Hello, hello. Actually, let me step further away. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, everyone, I'm on the radio. Okay. Right now, I am about 10 feet away, and I can definitely hear myself speaking. Let's go a little bit further. Oh, I hear the static crackling. Can you hear me? Can you hear me still? Right now, I am about 20 feet away. I am holding the antenna on the microphone about a foot above my head, so maybe that's helping the signal. But hey, listen, I'm on the radio. All right, that's pretty funny. Let me get back to the workbench here. Whoa, okay. All right, let's lower that down. So, the test is great. We can go 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, and a little bit of static as I approach the 20-foot mark, but it totally worked fine. This is definitely a successful test, and it's a great working Mr. microphone, but definitely not the very first one. It is the first one here that we need to work on. But this one works great, and I'm happy to say we could check this one off the list. I have a working Mr. Microphone, and now let's go back to this, and let me see if I can get this one to work by adjusting the frequency, now that I know I have to get feedback in order to tell if it's actually connected or not. So give me 1 second, and we'll set this one up and try it again. All right, here we go with round 2 of trying the first Mr. Microphone and see if it works now that I understand its feedback that I'm trying to get in order to determine whether or not I am tuned into the right FM station. And you know what? I told you I bought this last year from Radio Shack, brand new. And I think, yeah, give me 1 second. This is a protective plastic on here I forgot to peel off. I see these little scratches. I thought, I'm like, what? There's scratches? But that's just the plastic. All right, that looks a lot better. And actually, there's even on the cassette over here. So this should come off. There we go. All right. I think I satisfied my OCD there. It looks a lot clearer now. Let's get back to this testing of the microphone, and we'll put some batteries in again. Okay. As I'm doing this, just an FYI, this is not a vintage radio, but it was from Radio Shack. So in case you're wondering, why do I have a radio with USB and MP3 capabilities as well as Bluetooth? Definitely is not retro. Has a lot of features on there that's pretty neat. Okay, I have the radio all ready to go. And let's see, we have tape. Go to radio. We'll go volume low. Here's the Mr. Microphone first version. We'll take the little ball off the top, wrap the antenna around the radio antenna, like that. And then what I'm going to do is first keep the frequency that's set on here as is, but I'll put it a lot closer to the speaker and the mic, hoping to get some feedback as I slowly turn the dial on the FM from left to right. And if that doesn't get me anywhere, then I'm going to start adjusting the frequency at a particular station and just see if I can get some feedback that way. So let's go and try this again. It's on. Some volume. Oh, here we go. No way. We hit it. Hello, hello. Whoa. Hello, hello, hello. So this is perfect. I guess the first time through, maybe I just went by too quickly, or I just didn't have it close enough to get that feedback and I just missed it. So let's do a test. I'm going to take this about 15, 20 feet away, and let's see if you can still hear me come through the speakers here. And I'm going to put the little ball on top here. All right now I am about the same distance as I was last time, about 20 feet away. I hear a little bit of static, but pretty good actually. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, well, cool. Well, I won't do the, hey, I'm on the radio, because I think that's getting old. Let's get back to the workbench. Okay, well, we know this thing works great. And hello, hello, hello. This is pretty cool. So we do have two working Mr. Microphones. One that came out a little bit earlier than the other one. And we have one stand. That's all right. But everything seems to be working as it should. Well, I'm happy to say I have the original Mr. Microphone. I have the second version of the Mr. Microphone, but it's not Mr. Microphone 2. It's still the first one, but just a version that came out a little bit later. We have the stand, one stand. We have instructions. And we have the original shipping box that came with the first Mr. Microphone, as well as the actual bigger box that came with the second version of Mr. Microphone. And again, I think this is the one that was probably at the stores that you would see and you can pick up. Well, that will do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for taking time to watch it to the end. This is the 1978 Mr. Microphone and the 1979 Mr. Microphone, both by Ronco. Until next time, remember, keep that gaming passion from the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.